In this course, we will learn about digital cameras and how they work. We will learn how to download photos from your digital camera to your computer so that you can share them with your friends and family. Digital cameras are easy to use and produce really good photos. They also make it a lot easier for you to share the photos you have taken with friends and family. What can digital cameras do? Digital cameras are a great way of taking and keeping photos. In this topic, we'll find out about what digital cameras can do and the benefits of digital cameras. Get it right first time, second time, or third time. Unlike older film cameras, digital cameras save images electronically to a memory card rather than using physical film. This means that you can store and edit photos on your computer rather than sending them to be developed in a darkroom in the traditional way. You can still get photos developed if you want using sites such as Photobox or Snapfish. One benefit of digital cameras is that you can see what you're taking a photograph of on the display screen. You can use this to frame your images, choose settings and see your photos seconds after you've taken them. If they don't come out as you had hoped, you can simply delete them and try again. Take your pick. Digital cameras come in all shapes and sizes, from simple camera phones to top-of-the-range cameras with lots of features and zoom lenses. Most cameras can take great snaps and even short films. The most expensive the camera, the more features it will have. A larger zoom lens means you can get close to the action, and manual controls will let you be creative. These cameras can be complicated to use, so think about what sort of camera you want before you buy one. Saving, editing, printing. The great thing about digital cameras is how far it is to transfer pictures from camera to look at them on your phone. Digital cameras store pictures on a memory card. This means they can be easily transferred to your computer. You can then edit your photos before sending them to your friends or posting them on a website. Or you can just browse through them whenever you want. There are lots of online services that will develop your photos and deliver them to your door. Or you can take your memory card to your local photo shop and get photos printed there. Choosing your camera. If you're going to buy a digital camera, there are a number of things you should bear in mind, such as the size, the picture quality, and the number of images it will store, and the type of use. If you only want to take the occasional photo, a cheaper standard camera will be your best option. Most modern cameras have plenty of features that will help you take good photos. If you are a keen photographer, you may want to invest in something with more advanced features or accessories. These cameras are usually more expensive and can be challenging to use. So a simpler camera is probably best if you're a beginner. Picture quality. One of the main ways to tell if the picture quality of a camera is to check what size of image it takes. In digital cameras, this is measured in megapixels. The larger the number of megapixels, the larger the image a camera will take. This is important if you want to get large versions of your photos printed. Larger images are sometimes described as having a higher resolution or being high-res. For most people, 7 megapixels is more than enough. The majority of cameras will offer much more than this. Picture storage. Digital cameras store their images on memory cards. In many cases, you will need to buy the memory card separately. The amount of memory on a card is measured in gigabytes. The higher the number of gigabytes on your memory card, the more photos it will store. Most cards can hold hundreds of photos at any time. Make sure you shop around and check that you get the right card for your camera. Zoom. Most digital cameras allow you to zoom in on the object you are taking a photo of before you take it. There are two types of zoom: optical and digital. Optical zoom is much more effective and produces high quality pictures. Photos taken using digital zoom are lower quality and may appear blurry. So the more optical zoom your camera has, the better. What are the benefits of using a digital camera? Can you see your photos seconds after you take them? Can you easily transfer them to your computer? Do you need film? That's right, it's all of them. How do digital cameras work? In this topic, we will find out how digital cameras work, how to use some of the different features. The front of a camera. Digital cameras work very much like a film camera. You point the lens at what you want to photograph, look through the viewfinder, or look at the display screen on the back, and press the shutter button to take your photo. Most digital cameras have a built-in flash. If you set the camera to use the flash, it will work out how much light there is and whether the flash is needed. This is the shutter button, the viewfinder that we look through, the flashlight, and the big lens. Now let's have a look at the back of a camera with the display screen. Features dial. Digital cameras have a dial that lets you choose the different settings you want to use. You can set it to automatic and let the camera do all the work for you. Or you could choose one of the other settings. For example, there may be a specific setting for taking pictures of moving people or objects to make sure the image doesn't come out blurred. Navigation buttons. There are also navigation buttons. These let you move around the options menu, let you look through your photos and zoom in to have a closer look at the photos you have just taken. Using your memory card. There will be a slot in your camera for all of your memory cards. All your images are stored on this until you delete them. The number of images you can store on a memory card depends on the size of images and the size of the card. Most cards can store hundreds of images before you delete any. It's a good idea to save pictures regularly through your computer though, just in case you lose or damage your camera while you're out and about. You can do this by taking the memory card out of your camera and putting it into your computer's memory card reader, if it has one, or by connecting the camera to your computer using a cable. Some digital cameras can also connect to computers wirelessly. Keeping a copy. Why is it a good idea to transfer photos to your computer? Is it you can look through them and choose the ones that you want to keep? Or you can save them in case you lose or damage your camera? It's the only way to look at them? Or you can send them to your friends? We can look through them and choose which ones we want to keep, back them up to our computer and send them to our friends. However, we can still see the photos on a camera through the viewfinder. Getting the most out of your digital camera. In this topic, we will meet Phil. Phil wants to discover how to make the most of his photos. He'd like to download them from his camera so that he can edit them, print them, and also share them with his friends and family. A great day out. Phil and his son have just been for a great day out. Phil has taken loads of photos and he wants to send them to Sean's grandmother who lives in Spain. First, he needs to transfer them to his computer. There are a few ways to transfer images from a digital camera to a computer, but one of the most popular ways is a USB cable. These cables are usually supplied with the camera. After Phil has copied his pictures to a computer, he can delete them from his camera if he wants to make sure there is plenty of space to take more pictures on his day out. Transferring photos. Phil wants to transfer his photos from his camera to his computer. Let's help him. Phil has connected his camera to his computer using a cable. His computer has automatically opened the Photos program for him. Select Import Photos and Videos. Next, Phil needs to tell the computer where to import the photos from. His photos are on his digital camera, so select the On Other Device option. The computer has opened a preview of all the photos on the camera. Phil has already selected both the photos he wants to import. Select the Import button to copy them from Phil's camera to the computer. Next, Phil needs to tell the computer where to save his photos, as this is the first time. Next, Phil needs to name his new album. Let's type Day Out in the name box for our new album and then select Create Album button. Phil's new photo album has been created and his photos added. Finally, to open the new album, select Visit Album option. Phil can see his photos on his new album. From here, he can view them or edit them. The method will be slightly different depending on what device you have, but the steps will be similar. Making memories. Once Phil has copied his photos to his computer, there are all sorts of things he can do. He can view the images on his computer, get them printed, or share them with his friends and family using email or a social networking site such as Facebook. Most computers have a photo editing application installed. You can use these to cut bits off, improve the colours and lighting, and even remove problems like red eye. If your computer doesn't have any photo editing software, you can use free applications such as Google Photos or Adobe Photoshop Express to make changes and organize them. Editing photos. Phil thinks most of his pictures are great, but there are a couple where he'd like to cut out some of the background to focus on the important bits. Let's help him. First, he finds the photo he wants to edit and opens it in the photo editing application. Let's select one of the photos, 2 photos to edit. To cut out some of the background, Phil needs to use the crop tool. Let's select the crop tool. Phil has selected the part of the photo he wants to keep by dragging the markers at the edge of the crop tool. Finally, let's use the save icon from the menu bar to save his photo with his changes. Sharing photos. Now he's got all his photos on his computer and he's happy with how they look. Phil decides to share them with his friends and family. He sends a copy of his favourites to Sean's grandmother in Spain. He uploads a few to his Facebook page so his close friends can see them too. Finally, he decides he'd like some copies to frame and to put on his wall. He uses an online photo printing service to get some printed copies sent to him. Phil uses a website called Photobox, but there are many others you can use, such as Boots Photos or Jessop's. Let's have a go at our quiz. Question 1. Which of these statements about digital cameras are true? Only expensive cameras can take short videos as well as photos. They have settings which help you to take good photos easily. They let you save your photos onto a computer. A camera does not have to be expensive to take little videos or photos, but settings allow you to take good quality photos and you can transfer them to your computer. Question 2. Where are the images stored in a digital camera? On a memory card? On a digital film? Are they sent straight to a computer? Memory cards are where digital cameras store. Digital films are old cameras and they're backed up to a computer using a cable. Question 3. Why is it good to transfer your photos to a computer? You can edit them. It frees up space on your memory card. In case your camera gets lost or damaged, you can share them with your friends and family. You can send your favourite photos to be printed. The correct answer is all of them. We can transfer them to the computer to edit them on there, to take space off of your camera onto the computer, as a backup, to upload them or share them with friends and family, and be able to email or upload them to be printed. Question 4. What's the benefits of the display screen on a digital camera? You can use it to frame your shots. You can see the photos you've been taking within seconds. You can zoom in on your photos and take a closer look. You can delete the photos you don't like. The correct answer is all of them. You can frame your shots using the display screen. We can look at the results. We can zoom in and we can display what photographs we'd want to delete.